Welcome to Voice Within. Today, I want to talk about something quiet but powerful. Something that slowly eats away at our peace, our confidence, our joy. It's the habit of comparing ourselves to others. We don't plan it, we don't even notice it most of the time. But it's there, in the way we scroll, in the way we think, in the way we measure our worth. Comparison has become the invisible language of our generation. We compare our beginnings to someone else's middle, our behind the scenes to their highlight reel. And slowly, we start believing that we're not enough. I know this feeling because I've lived it. There was a time when every morning started the same way. I'd reach for my phone before my mind was even awake, and within minutes, I'd see a flood of other people's lives, their achievements, their vacations, their perfect smiles. And something inside me would tighten. A quiet voice would whisper, "Look at them. You should be there by now." That whisper grew louder every day. It followed me everywhere, into my work, my thoughts, even my dreams. I began to chase someone else's idea of success, someone else's timeline, someone else's story. And in doing so, I lost touch with my own. But comparison is clever. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't destroy all at once. It slowly convinces you to stop believing in yourself. I started feeling small, as if life was a race I was losing. But the truth was, I was never meant to run their race at all. One rainy afternoon, I sat in a cafe, staring at my reflection in the window. It wasn't just my face I saw, it was the exhaustion of trying to be someone else. I opened my phone again, and there it was, another person's success story. And for a moment, I felt that old sting of comparison. But this time, I didn't scroll. I just watched the rain slide down the glass, each drop moving at its own speed, never rushing, never competing. And that's when it hit me. Even the rain doesn't compare itself to other drops. It just falls, gracefully, naturally, at its own pace. That moment changed something deep inside me. It wasn't dramatic, no big revelation, just a quiet truth that settled into my heart. You can't become who you're meant to be while you're busy trying to be someone else. That day, I decided to stop comparing and start becoming. The journey of becoming isn't loud. It's not about grand moments or big announcements. It's quiet, and it starts within. When I stopped looking outward, I began noticing things I had ignored for years. My own ideas, my small victories, my strength. The kind that doesn't post online. Becoming meant slowing down. It meant learning to celebrate progress, even if no one else saw it. I started journaling, writing 3 small things I was grateful for each day. At first, it felt silly, too simple to matter. But over time, something beautiful happened. I began to see myself not through the lens of others, but through the lens of growth. Gratitude turned comparison into clarity. I realized I didn't need to have everything. I just needed to be, to present, to live, to feel, to grow. As I walked this new path, I discovered a few truths, quiet ones, but powerful enough to change everything. First, everyone's path is different. We all bloom in our own season. No flower rushes to open because another one has bloomed. The garden is beautiful because each flower takes its time. Second, success is not a finish line. It's a rhythm, yours alone. Some people move fast, others move slow. Both are right. Both are enough. Third, comparison steals creativity. When you're busy copying someone else, you forget to listen to your own ideas, your own art, your own calling.
And fourth, what you see in others is often the reflection of what you admire in yourself. When you feel envy, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign that you too carry that potential. The people you compare yourself to aren't ahead of you. They're simply reminding you of what's possible. When I stopped comparing, I didn't suddenly become happier overnight, but I did start to feel lighter. I stopped rushing through life and started living it. I began noticing how the sunlight touched my room in the morning, how music sounded better when I wasn't distracted, how peace felt when I wasn't constantly measuring my worth. It's strange. When you stop comparing, you don't lose motivation. You gain direction. You stop asking, "Why am I not like them?" and start asking, "Who am I becoming?" And that question, "Who am I becoming?" is where transformation begins.
I used to think the world outside shaped me, but now I know the real world is within. The world outside will always change. Trends, standards, opinions, they rise and fall like waves. But the world within, your thoughts, your values, your peace, that's your anchor. When I started listening to my inner voice, I discovered things that comparison had silenced. I realized I loved quiet mornings. I love small conversations that feel big. I love creating, even if no one applauds. And most of all, I love the person I'm becoming. Not perfect, not finished, but real. We all have moments when we feel left behind. Someone gets the job we wanted. Someone finds love before we do. Someone seems to have it all figured out. But what if behind doesn't really exist? Think about it. If life isn't a race, how can anyone be ahead or behind? We are all walking our own path, and no two paths are the same. Some take turns early, some take longer routes, but eventually, we all find where we're meant to be. I once heard a quote, "Comparison ends where gratitude begins." And it's true. When you start appreciating your journey, you stop envying someone else's.
Becoming isn't a straight line. It's a spiral. You come back to the same lessons, but each time you understand them a little better. You'll still compare sometimes. We're human. But the difference is, now you'll notice it. You'll pause, take a breath, and remember, I am not them, and that's okay. Becoming is about patience. It's about showing up even when no one claps. It's about believing in yourself when progress feels invisible. And one day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come, not because you ran faster, but because you never gave up walking. There's a quiet moment in everyone's life when you realize you've changed. You've stopped rushing. You've stopped comparing. You've stopped trying to prove. Instead, you've started to be. That's the moment you start becoming, when peace feels more valuable than attention, when growth feels better than praise, when you no longer chase validation, you create it from within. I've learned that the world rewards those who are authentic, not the loudest, not the fastest, but the ones who are real. Because when you are real, you connect, and connection is what makes you truly seen. So if you're listening right now and you feel like you're not enough, I want you to hear this. You are not behind. You are not late. You are growing in silence, in small steps, in ways you may not even see yet. Every time you try again, you're becoming. Every time you heal, you're becoming. Every time you choose peace over pressure, you're becoming. Stop looking at where others are. Look at how far you've come. You are becoming something beautiful, something only you can be. Sometimes
I sit alone and think about how loud the world has become. Everyone talking, everyone showing, everyone chasing. But beneath all that noise, there's still a quiet voice, your inner one. It doesn't shout, it guides. It says, you're doing fine. It says, you're enough. That's your voice within. And when you learn to listen to it, you no longer need the world's approval. You already have your own. So today, wherever you are, take a deep breath. Let go of comparison. Let go of the need to be seen. You are already enough. Keep walking your path, slowly, gently, truly, because every step you take is shaping you into who you're meant to be. You don't need to compete. You don't need to prove. You just need to become. Thank you for listening. This is Voice Within, reminding you to always listen to the voice that lives inside you.